Welcome back. You are just in time for another repair video. On the workbench today, we're going to have a PlayStation 4 model CUH-1115A. One of the rare white ones. I don't run across many of these. I have one myself in the house. I kind of kept for myself. I think these things just look cool. They have that, especially when they're in good shape. They look so clean and nice. But this one is supposed to be no power, and I have not even tried to turn it on yet. I did notice, looking at the back of it here, looks like the warranty stickers are still in place, so that's a good thing. And the HDMI port could use a little something. We'll have to look at that if we get it working. Let's just see if we can get any power on it, though, which I kind of doubt. I thought I heard a pop, which usually means that the power supply main fuse is not blown because it's drawing some current. Let's just see. What about if we hit the eject button? Nothing. Okay, well, maybe they were not lying. How about if I attempt to, well, I'll just use it. I'll do it the proper way. I'll use a disc. No signs of life. Okay. All right, let's get into this thing and see if we can figure out why she's so dead. Let me just show you what I was struggling with here. There's something, maybe like cough syrup, and it was stuck. The cover was stuck and did not want to come off. That looks nasty. And I'm wondering if that's the cause of our no power. Oh well, just wanted to share with you. Back in the tripod you go. I forget the 1115s have more screws. Okay, this is just nasty. I don't know what that is, but it's quite nasty. All right, well, before I take this thing completely apart, I'd like to do a little check on this power supply, because the system is acting like there's no standby power, and I'm wondering whether or not there is. So I've got the power supply plugged in. I got it pushed off to the side here, and let me see if I can get my meter in the picture here. Kind of hard to get everything situated, isn't it? Okay, we can kind of see there. I'm going to look down on this 4-pin connector in here that's still connected to the power supply, and let's see if we have anything. We do. We have 4.8 volts. So, and how about, I don't know if I can get to the other end of the connector, because there should be a power good signal there. And there is, 4.78. So On one end, on the top side, as I look at it here, 4.8 volts. So our 5 volt standby is there. Ugh, but we are not even trying to turn on. Nope. Okay, that's where we are. Well, I have the board out, and I wanted to show something. If you can see, that glob of red stuff is sitting on top of this pad right here. That's the input for the touch sensor, the power on button. That's the contact for the touch sensor. Like if the board's out of the case, you can touch it there and it will try to turn on. I'm just wondering if that's something to do with our problem here. Does it think that button's being pressed the whole time? That would be very, very fortunate if that was all it was. I don't really see a whole lot of that stuff on the other parts of the board. No massive corrosion, lots of dirt and dust. Let me flip this thing over. If you look, I see a little bit there on top of that capacitor, but no massive corrosion. Oh, look at that HDMI port. Yeah, that's not good. Pins pushed back in there. So, okay. So no power is not its only problem. But I don't see anything just massively wrong. So, okay, let's see what I can figure out here. All right, well, at last we are inside at the workbench, and I'm going to do a little basic testing here. What I'm going to do, I was going to show you, I have a 4-pin connector here that mates up, at least I hope it does, yeah, with the 4-pin on this motherboard. This is where the standby power comes in, and the controls to control the power supply to bring up the 12 volts in the power supply. So what I have done, the wire on this end, get a little close up, is plus 5 volts. I'm going to feed in plus 5 volts. That would normally come from the power supply, which I don't have in here. And the one on the other end, the opposite end of it, at this end, is the power good signal. And normally that would come from the power supply as well. And that's what this board needs. In other words, in order to attempt to turn on, it needs both of those, 5 volt standby and the power good signal. So what I'm going to do is fire up the old bench supply here. I don't remember what I had it set on last. Probably 5 volts at like 300 milliamps or something. 4.8. There you go, 4.86. I usually set something like that because the actual 5 volt standby out of the power supply for the PS4 is not 5. It's actually about 4.8, 4.85, something like that. So, let me move some junk out of the way and get my clip leads here. We're going to see how much current this thing is drawing. Let me get, which one of these is ground? I think I'll just get my ground right here on this connector. And I'm going to hook 5 volts or 4.86, whatever you want to call it there. Now, let's see when I enable this what she does. 60 milliamps. That looks good. Actually went to current limiting for a moment, didn't we? Let me turn that back off. Maybe raise this up to 400 milliamps. The 1215s and the slims don't seem to normally go over 300, but maybe this one does. Let's try this again. That looks good, and then it should shoot up. Yeah, 340, and then back down. That looks like a normal startup sequence to me. Not that to me that says the board, the low-level bias stuff has loaded, the south bridge has woke up, and she's ready to do something. I am just wondering now, if I try that power button, which is here, if it'll try to come on. Now what should happen, it should beep and the lights should come on, which the lights are on the other side. So it can't fully come on because I don't have the 12 volt supply hooked up, but it should try to come on if it's working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch that pad right here with my thumb, and I'm going to, well, lay this over if I can. Where are those lights? Are they on the other side? I thought they were on this side. I'm trying to find the LEDs. Okay, they're way over here. Yeah, they're much further in than I remembered them being. They're on the 1200s, they're in a little different spot. So here are the LEDs. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. What does it try to do if I press that button? She beeps. She tries to come on. She should shut off. All right, I think that glob of stuff was our main problem. I think this thing is ready to work. Other than it does need that HDMI port down here replaced, right there. But yeah, I think that was. It was sensing that glob of stuff sitting on there, and it was just like you held the power button all the time. And that probably confuses the logic in this thing, and it won't do anything. It overrides everything. But that looked normal and healthy. That looked like it was trying to turn on. And of course, what happens there when you press that button, what would normally happen is it would send out, I can't remember which one of these wires it is. One of these two, I have to look it up. It would send out a command to the power supply to turn on the 12-volt supply. And then 12 volts would be applied to these two pins, and she would come up fully and boot. But because I don't have 12 volts connected, and I don't have a supply in here that'll handle enough current, you need like 10 amps of current for that thing. So, but for my purposes, for just checking, the 5 volts into here tells me what I want to know. It's trying to turn on now. So good. What we need now is to replace that busted HDMI port. Get you a good, pretty. Oh, I turned it on again. Oops. Turn off that power supply. We need to replace this busted HDMI port. And I think we'll have a working machine. are back out in the garage. I've got this PlayStation reassembled enough to at least test to see if we're working, sorta. I think. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother putting the covers back on it until I see some video out of this thing. And there was a lot of that red gunk on the ribbon cable that goes to the Blu-ray. I cleaned it out, all of it up in the connectors, and I think I got it all, but so we may have an issue there. But okay, let's see. Our monitor is on. Hey, we beep. That's good. Flashing lights. Unsupported mode. Wonder if it's checking the hard drive now. White light. Yep, we are checking the hard drive. Excellent. There we are, PlayStation logo. Oh, appears to have been initialized. Yeah, we've been initialized. Okay. All right, let's just, for the heck of it, let's just see if we can get it to load a disk. That's good. And it spins. Okay. I think we're going to be good. I think I'll just end this video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found it entertaining or educational in any way, please give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next repair. Bye for now.